As the South African national rugby union team look ahead to life beyond Siya Kolisi, the question of who will inherit one of the rugby's most demanding captaincies is beginning to surface with increasing urgency. Veteran prop Stephen Kishroff has weighed in on the debate, offering a measured but intriguing prediction. With Kolisi expected to be 36 by the time the 2027 Rugby World Cup kicks off in Australia, likely marking his final appearance in green and gold, the search for a long-term successor is gaining momentum. Kolisi, who first took over the captaincy under Rassie Erasmus in 2018, has since become one of the most influential figures in Springbok history. Not only did he lead South Africa's World Cup glory, but he also reached the milestone of 100 Test caps, an extraordinary achievement for a loose forward. As he heads into the 2026 season with 71 matches as captain, he is closing in on John Smith's record of 83 Tests in charge. Over the years, several players have stepped into the leadership roles when needed, among them Eben Isbeth, Peter Steve du Toit, Jesse Krill, and Bongimbo Nambi. However, most are either approaching the twilight of their careers or are not seen as long-term options heading toward the 2031 Rugby World Cup. Kitchoff admits there's no obvious heir apparent and said sometimes leadership qualities are identified early, referencing Kolisi's rise through the ranks after captaining the Stormers. But right now, it's difficult to pinpoint a clear successor. While Jesse Krill has impressed as a stand-in leader, Kitchoff stopped short of backing him as the long-term solution. Instead, when pressed for name, he pointed to Ran Noki and said if I had to choose, I'd go with Noki. He's been exceptional for the Bulls and has shown strong leadership qualities. At 27, Noki has steadily built his international profile since debuting in 2022. He made a significant impact during the 2024 season, stepping up amid an injury crisis and adding valuable depth to the squad with a string of solid performances. His leadership experience at franchise level, where he has shared captaincy duties, further strengthens his case. However, his recent move to Japan could implicate matters. While overseas-based players remain eligible for Springbok selection, Erasmus has previously highlighted the logistical challenges of having a captain playing abroad, issues that surfaced during Kolisi's stint with Racing 92. Meanwhile, fellow prop Trevor Nyakane offered a more cautious perspective, acknowledging the unpredictability of leadership pathways in rugby, and said if you asked me years ago who would captain in 2019, I wouldn't have known. There's so much talent coming through, it's a tough call. Kitchoff echoed the sentiment, emphasizing that captaincy extends far beyond performances on the field, and that it's not just about leadership within the team. It's about how you handle the media, how you represent the country. You become the face of the Springboks. That's a massive responsibility. As South African rugby prepares for a future without Kolisi at the helm, one thing is clear: replacing him will require more than just skill. It will demand presence, resilience, and the ability to carry the weight of a nation. Meanwhile, Eben Etzbeth has finally broken his silence after being hit with a lengthy suspension, admitting the flashpoint that led to his red card against Wales' National Rugby Union team was a mistake. The double World Cup winning Springboks lock was handed a 12-week ban in December after an independent disciplinary panel found him guilty of eye-gouging Alex Mann during the clash. The flashpoint occurred during South Africa's 73-0 demolition of Wales in Cardiff on 29 November, marking Elspeth's first red card in 141 Test appearances for the world champions. Following the hearing, the 34-year-old fronted up publicly, taking to social media to accept responsibility, and wrote, "Now that my hearing is done, I think I owe everyone an explanation. First of all, this is not a post to show that I was not guilty. I accept guilt. I made a mistake and willing to serve a suspension which I deserve. I don't want young kids to look up to the Springboks to think that it's okay to eye-gog someone, because it's not. But unfortunately mistakes happen and made a big one for which I'm sorry." Despite the suspension and growing questions about his long-term future, Eben has made it clear that the retirement is not on his radar. The veteran log, who has amassed 133 test caps, insists his hunger to represent South Africa remains undiminished. He told the Report publication that I want to wear that number 4 jersey in the green and gold as many times as possible. The competitive spirit is still strong in me. I'm not giving up my place. I want to be in the team for as long as possible. I'm not thinking about playing until a certain year. I'm just going to keep pushing. The key is staying fit and avoiding injury because recovery is harder as you get older. Eben also acknowledged the realities of a brutal professional game, pointing to how quickly careers can be cut short, and said the curtain falls for everyone. It came early for prop Stephen Kirchhoff, but that was due to injury. It could have happened when he was 24. Every year, the younger guys are just bigger, better, and faster. Players like Salman Moret and Ruan Norke are already world class. They push me to improve, and that's the way it should be, based on the current form and influence. Meanwhile, the Springbok center Jan Fontaine had been mulling his decision for some time and finally made up his mind after consulting with his family and coach. He said playing for the Bulls has been a dream, but one should know when to call it a day. The 33-year-old has decided to retire after a celebrated first-class career spanning 15 years. He said every player knows that there's a time to call it a day. He said that playing for the Bulls had been a dream come true, and said we used to drive up from Port Elizabeth to watch Currie Cup finals, and also the year 2009 they won the Super Rugby final against Chiefs, and said I was always a fan from when I was youngster. There were many highs and lows, and I'm massively proud and fortunate to have represented the Bulls. Born in Eastern Cape in 1993, he first gained major attention in 2012, where he helped the Junior Springboks with the Junior World Championship title on home soil. His dominant performances that year earned him the prestigious title of World Junior Player of the Year, marking him as a potential Springbok mainstay. Serfontein transitioned seamlessly into the senior ranks, making his Springbok debut at just 20 years old against Italy in 2013. Over the next 4 years, he became a fixture in the national setup, earning 35 caps and representing South Africa at the 2015 Rugby World Cup, where the team secured a bronze medal. Please like, comment, share, and subscribe for more sports news.